Hello everyone, welcome to OJ Patterns. Today we'll be working on the basic bodies block using size 14 measurement. So for the bodies block, we all know that like your bodies is the upper part of your garment, starting from shoulder to the waist and sometimes around the hip. So but the one we're drafting is from shoulder to waist, that's from your NP to waist. So measurements that are required, measurements we'll be using, which is the size 14 measurement, we'll be using the bust measurement, we'll be using the waist measurement, we'll be using the across back. Across back is also called X back. We'll be using the across front, which is also called X front. We'll be using the front length. So there's a difference between front length and back length. The front length is a bit longer compared to the back length. We'll be using the back length. So that's why we need the different measurements. We'll be using the shoulder. We'll be needing bust point. Bust point, that's shoulder to nipple point is the bust point. Also be using round neck. Round neck, we have the armhole. The armhole or the armhole arc. Have the nip to waist. So these are the 11 measurements we're using. So for the bust, for size 14, let me indicate please, this is size 14. The bust, the actual measurement is 92 cm. So all measurements are taken in centimeter. The actual measurement is 92 cm. Then it has 8 cm ease. The 8 cm is for ease. That's total will be 100 centimeter. Next we have, for the waist we have 69 centimeter plus 5 cm ease. This will give us 74 centimeter. Next we have across back is 37 plus 1 cm ease, it will be 38 cm. Across front is 36 plus 1 cm ease, it give us 37. We have front length is 44. So for the length we don't have to add any ease allowance. Front length is 44 cm. Back length is 42 cm. So remember when I said the front length is longer than the back length. Then we have the shoulder. Shoulder is 13 cm. And next is the bust point. Bust point is 26 cm. So bust point is 26 cm from NP, which is neck point. We have the round neck. Round neck is 36 cm. The armhole, which is the same as the armhole arc, is 40 cm. While for armhole, we'll add 2 cm ease. That will give us 42 cm. Nape to waist is 40 cm. So we're not adding any measurement to the nape to waist. So this is what we'll be using to draft our basic block size 14. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Kindly share with your friends. Okay, now moving on to construction. So the first thing we need to do is to get the basic rectangle. Same thing we did for our skirt, we have to use a particular measurement. So for this, for us to get the basic rectangle, that's like the rectangle we're going to draft in. The basic rectangle measurement we'll be using our half bust by back length. So the half bust is 100 divided by 2. So that's 50 cm by back length. What's the back length? Back length is 42. This is the back length, 42. So you bring 42. So the basic rectangle measurement I'll be using is half bust by back length. So I'll be doing 50 by 42. So we know how to get our basic rectangle. So that's the first step, is to get our basic rectangle, which is 50 by 42. So I'll put this aside. 50 by 42 is what we're using. So don't forget, you can centralize your pattern. We all know how to centralize the pattern at this stage. You can centralize your pattern, or better still, draw a margin and use it to draft your pattern. So you can always centralize your pattern, or just draw a margin at the edge and use it. So I'll just centralize my pattern now. You know how to centralize the pattern. First, to centralize the pattern, you measure what you have here to the other end, and then you minus the 50 from it. Then you divide it by 2. Then for the length, you measure what you have from here to the end, minus it by 42, and then whatever you get, you divide it by 2. That way you can centralize your pattern. But I'll be doing another method, which is using a margin at the edge. So I'll be creating a margin at the end, at the edge to use. So I'm just using a margin of like 3 cm. So my pattern doesn't start from the edge directly. And then I'll connect my dots. Also, I'll drop down 3 cm at the top, just so that I have like a top line at the top. So at the end of the day, my pattern is not starting from the top, or from the edge of my pattern paper. That's what I'm trying to do. So, but still, I'll still get a box. So the fact that I've used margin here, so we're trying to get 50 by 42. So that means I'll measure 50 this way. From here, I'll measure 50 cm. So I'll measure 50 cm. So this is my 50 cm. I'll come down to middle. If you have a long ruler, you just measure at 50 at the top, come towards the edge, measure 50 at the top. So if you check, my 50 is starting from the margin, not the edge of my paper anymore. And then connect. That's 50. Also extend this out. So I have the 50, which is the half bust. Next is to use the 42, which is the back length. So I'll measure 42 from the top of my pattern downwards. 42 and mark. Come towards the middle. This placement of tape is very important, because you want your pattern to be neat and very straight as possible. "42" and square out. So please, let's also have the habit of writing whatever we use. Remember how to indicate. Up here is 50 cm, here to here is 42 cm. So we have 50 by 42. So I can always do this from here, bring it down a bit. It's gonna be like this to indicate that here to here is 42 cm, and I'll repeat it at the top here to indicate here to here is 50 cm. So this way anybody that carries your pattern will understand what you're doing. So this shows here to here is 50. So I hope this help. This is 50 and this is 42. So don't forget you can centralize your pattern or you can use the margin method, that's creating a margin. So one thing we want to do at the edges, you number or you label. So it's best to label because this we're going to be having a lot. We're going to be having a lot of points, so you don't want to miss. So I can just label 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this way, if I'm saying something, you'll be able to connect it using the points. So even if I don't want to use 0, 1, 2, 3, I can use ABCD. So you can work with ABC. That means you just flow with the numbers, and you can number them as much as possible, like each point, so that way it guides you and it helps you. Okay, so moving on to drafting after getting our basic rectangle. Next is we have 0, 1, 2, 3 already. So next we are going to try and get point 4. So 0 to 4 is 2 cm down. So it depends on what you want to use. You can use 2, you can use 1.5, but standard. So let's just work with 2 cm down from point 0. So you measure 2 cm down. So this is my 0. I'll measure 2 cm down. And this is my point 4. 0 to 4 is 2 cm down. So now we need to square out the 0.4, but there will be a measurement that you will square out with. So from point 4, square out using round neck divided by 6. So don't forget we have our round neck measurement here. So round neck is 36, and the step says round neck divided by 6. So we have 36. So 36 divided by 6, that's 6. So that's from point 4. Now we're trying to get a measurement in, and it says round neck divided by 6 plus 0.5. So round neck is 36 divided by 6 will give us 6. 36 divided by 6 equals 6 plus 0.5 cm. So that will be 6.5 cm in total. That's what we're using. So from point 4, I will mark 6.5 cm in. Point 4 from point 4. So you get the straight line 6.5 cm. So this is 6.5. And don't forget, you want to ensure the measurement is accurate. What we have here is 2, so we still need to indicate to ensure it's straight. That's 2. So I have 6.5 by 2. So I have 6.5 here. So from here, so this will become 0.5. So it says square up to 6. So the same 6.5, I will come on the 0.0 line and mark 6.5 to be sure I have a straight line up here. So I'll write 6 here. Please don't forget we can use letters, alphabets. So it's just to guide us. Most important is that we get our measurements accurate. So let me rephrase. We have 0 to 4, 2 cm. From point 4, we do round neck divided by 6 using the measurement. Round neck is 36 divided by 6. That's 6. 6 plus 0.5 cm. So that's 6.5. So that I measure here 6.5, and then you square up to 0.6. So next is draw neck curve from point 4. Okay, next we are going to draw the neck curve. And to draw your neck curve from point 4, take in 1.5 or 2 cm first. So this way, your measurements, I'll just measure 1.5 in. And if I'm drawing my curve will stop at that 1.5. That means it won't get to 4. So you draw neck curve going from 6, stop at that 1.5 we measured in, 1.5 or 2 cm. So from 6, I'll use my French curve this way. So from 6, I use my French curve to that 1.5 cm in or 2 cm in. Okay, next is, as we're doing the back, we'll be doing the front. So next, for the front neck, use 36 divided by 6 plus 1 cm. So remember how we did the back, we did 36 divided by 6 plus 0.5. That's how we got 6.5. But now for front, it says 36 divided by 6 plus 1 cm. So that will be 7 cm. So that means from point 2, I'll measure 7 cm in. I'll measure 7 cm in. So this is my point 7. Now this is the width of the neck. Next, to get the depth, you're going to do 36 divided by 6 plus 1.5. So here we did 36 divided by 36 is the round neck, don't forget. 36 divided by 6 is 6 plus 1 cm, that's 7. So we'll measure from here 7. Now to get the depth, it says 36 divided by 6 plus 1.5. So that will be 7.5. So from point 2, I'll measure 7.5 down and mark. So we have 7 by 7.5. So I want to ensure, and then we'll draw a square. This is 7 and this is 7.5. Okay, perfect. So connect them. Length is 7.5 while the width is 7 cm. So you want to ensure your measurement. So if I measure from here to here, it's 7. If I measure from here to there, it's 7.5. Okay, so here will become 0.8 and here will be 0.9. So we have to label, we have to number it so that if we're talking about it, we'll be able to understand properly. Okay, next, using ruler, now we need to get an angle 45, but to make it easy, instead of trying to get the angle 45 degrees, you can just use your ruler to form an X shape. From point 2, connect to 8 like this. From point 7, connect to 9 this way. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. Please subscribe and like. So once you have this, what you do, from the midpoint, you drop down 2 cm towards 0.8. From the midpoint. From the midpoint, you drop down 2 cm towards 0.8. This is my 2 cm. So this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint now, where both x meet. So from the midpoint towards 0.8, you drop down 2 cm. So this is the 2 cm here. So that 2 cm is a guide for drawing the neck curve of the front. So next, I'll be using connect 7. Now you place your curve in a way that you connect 7 passing through the 2 cm. So your 7 will touch 2 cm and then towards 9 this way. So that's how to draw your neck curve. And oh good. So next, divide armhole arc by 2. So the armhole here is 42. 42 divided by 2. So the armhole 42. 42 divided by 2 is 21. So that's what we need now. So divide armhole arc by 2, which is 21, and mark the 21 from point 4 downwards. So we're doing back, we're doing front. So from point 4, you mark the 21 down. So from point 4, please, point 4. Place your tape at point 4. So this is the 21. And from here, square it across the paper. So this will be point 10 now. This is 10. Don't forget, we did 7, 8, 9. Now this is 10. And it says square across the paper. What we did was from point 4, 21 down. So for me to square across, I want to ensure my line will be straight. So I'll just measure what I have from here down and use it. Please let's not forget I need to have a straight line. Always have a straight line. So this will be point 11. So we have 10 here, we have 11 here. Next, get the midpoint of 4 to 10. So this is points from 4 to 10. Get the midpoint. Don't forget our 4 to 10, what we used was 21. Yep. 21 divided by 2 is going to be 10.5. So that's the midpoint. So 10.5. Midpoint of 21 is 10.5, and this will be point 12. So square across to CF. So that 10.5, I'll come. So you have to square across, and you have to ensure you have a perfect straight line. So it's even best to use a ruler, a long ruler, so you can just connect straight up. And this will be point 13. Don't forget to label. We give its numbers as we work, so that we'll be able to connect easily to it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And if you have any comments or question, drop it in the comment section below, and I'll attend to it as soon as possible. Okay, next. Now from point 10 along the line, measure and mark half across back. This is my point 10, and this is the sky depth line. So next, from point 10, measure and mark half across back. Now the across back is 38. 38 divided by 2. So you want to do 38 divided by 2. That will be 19. So from point 10, we'll measure 19 and mark. This is point 10 along the line, 19 cm, and mark. So this would be point 14. Now from here, from this 19, square up. You have to square up 18.5. Now this is from my 19. That's your point 14 now. From point 14, you square up a straight line that would stop at 18 cm. Sorry. Okay, 18.5. You square up a straight line that will stop at 18.5. So I want to be sure my line is straight. So I'll just come here, measure the 19. Okay, we're good. We're on track. And then we'll connect. This line, the straight line up here is 18.5 cm. That straight line is 18.5. Here to here is 18.5. So from 14, you square up 18.5. So here will be 15. The measurement you square up. Next, measure 10.5 cm from 14. 10.5 cm, measure from 14. 10.5 and mark. The 10.5 is standard. So just measure 10.5 and mark, calling it point 16. Okay. Next, now from the point 16, square up a straight line which will be 18 cm long. Don't forget, this line is 18.5. This one will be 18 cm. So I'll just measure 18 cm. 18 cm. And it's 10.5 from the straight line. Okay. So this will be point 17. Let's not forget 10.5. If you check, measure here to here is 10.5, 10.5. So your line has to be straight. So this is point 16, this is point 17. Okay, next, at point 15, draw an arc. Okay, at point 15, draw an arc. This is point 15, so it's draw an arc. Now you need a small tip like this for you to be able to draw an arc. And then you get your pencil, put it in the hole of the tape this way. Please, let's put it in the hole of the tape this way. You draw an arc, and then you take your tape from the hole. Now your pencil is inside here. You point it at that point 15 and hold it down. Next, you hold the tape towards at your point 14. So you hold the tape at your point 14 and your pencil is in that hole at point 15. Once you hold the tape here, hold it down here, and then yes, ensure you hold it down firmly, please. So you're holding it at that point 14 firmly, and then you hold the tape and then you do this. So that's an arc. So you can't hold your tape. See what I did? This is where I held the tape. You can't hold your tape at that point 12 line. It won't work. The curve will be different. So you have to hold it down here and then you connect to draw your arc. Now draw a line from point 6 at 14.5 to touch the arc. So this measurement is what you do. You get your shoulder plus 1.5. Now you have to get your shoulder. Shoulder measurement here is 13 cm. And it says you add 1.5 to it. So 13 plus 1.5 is going to be 14.5. So that means from point 6, I'll measure 14.5 and 14.5 will touch that arc. So that's the essence of the arc. So you measure from point 6, 14.5 and to touch the arc. Wherever it stops on the arc, please, it has to be on the arc directly. This is it. And then I'll connect with a straight ruler. Connect 6 with a straight ruler to there. So remember what I said, you label. So this will become our point 18. You label as you work. Okay, next. So the 1.5 we added to that shoulder measurement. That's, your 6 to 18 is 14.5 because we did 13 cm shoulder and then 1.5 to add to it. Now that 1.5 is for your back dart. That's what we use for back dart. So please note that 1.5 is for back dart. So it's already there. Later we'll be constructing the dart. Okay, next step, you now draw an X from 14. So we're going to get our ruler, connect 14 towards halfway through like this. I'm going to use a pen so the line will be strong and then it doesn't obstruct anything. So you connect 14 and then you connect from 16 halfway through. So in this box, you connect it like this. So you don't forget this is a guide to drawing your armhole. So once we connect, now from 14, you go 2 cm up along the line. From 14, take up 2 cm along the X line. So this is 2 cm from point 14. Okay, next step is get the midpoint. Okay, from 14, 2 cm up. Now from 16, 2.5 cm up. From here, 2 cm up. From here, 2.5 cm up. So 2.5 cm along the line and mark. So this is 2 cm and this is 2.5. So 2 cm and 2.5. Next, get the midpoint of 14 to 16. So measure what you have 14 to 16. No, that's the 10.5. You get the midpoint. 10.5 divided by 2, that will be 5.25. You get the midpoint and then you square down. So you want to ensure your line is straight. So I'm just going to measure what I have here, 24.5, and mark so that I will just connect. So always ensure your line is straight. So get the midpoint and square down. Okay. Now we've gotten 18. You can, here it can be 19, 19, 19, and here will be called 20. So you can just work with your numbers. That way, if you're connecting anything, you just be calling out the point and it helps. Okay, next. Draw an arc at 17. So at point 17, we'll be drawing an arc. Same thing we did. So draw an arc. Ensure your pencil goes in the hole. Now we have to hold your pencil at that point 17 down, hold it down, and then hold your tape firmly at point 16. Hold your tape firmly at point 16, and then you draw an arc to just go over it. That's how we draw an arc. So draw an arc at point 17. Next, you have to join the shoulder from 13. You have to join the shoulder measurement. Shoulder measurement is 13 cm, and the dart for the front is 6 cm. So you do 13 plus 6. 13 cm for shoulder, 6 cm for dart. 13 plus 6 is 19 cm. So that's what we're using. So measure 19 from 7 to touch the arc. So 13 for shoulder, 6 cm for dart. Measure 19 from point 7 to touch the arc. Okay, my arc is not long enough, so I'm just gonna do it. So one good thing about the arc, once it's done properly, if you come back, you still touch, you still be on same spots. So you wanna ensure. Okay, next I'll be measuring 19 now. So shoulder plus that measurement. So from 7, I'll measure 19 to touch my arc, and this is the 19. So this is 19 cm from 7. 19 cm, how we get 19 cm is shoulder plus that. So that's the 19 cm. So this point will be called point 21. Don't forget you can use letters and all. Now connect from 17. From 7, sorry, to the point 21 this way. So from 7 to touch the arc. Okay. Okay, next is to draw the armhole. But for us to draw the armhole, so in drawing the armhole, you connect 18, point 18, which is the shoulder length, point 18, let it touch the straight line, passing through 2 cm to 19. So just watch how I place my armhole curve. Now, another thing is if you can't take it all the way, you can do them in bits. So I'll first of all connect 18 to the straight line this way, and then I'll connect this down to cm. So you can keep rotating your curve. Sorry. So using a curve, please ensure you place it in a way that you get one stroke. So to connect the front 21 to touch, okay, next for the front you connect 21 touching 2.5 to point 19, which is the midline. So you want to place your curve, your armhole curve. If you connect it, you'll be able to get it once. So I use red pen so we can tell the difference. So from 21 pass through 2.5 to 19. Okay, next we'll be moving on to the dart suppression. So for dart suppression, we'll be shaping the darts, we'll be shaping the side seam, and then so the first thing we want to do is, that is your bust measurement. Bust is 100. So now we're trying to shape the dart. So this is the calculation for it. Don't forget this width here, we did half of the bust, which is 50. That was how we got this width. So we need to separate it because we want to get the waist. So that means this width is 50. So measure, that's the half bust. You can do your calculation like this. Bust is 100 100, waist is 74. Now minus 74 from 100. If you minus 74 from 100, you will get 26. Minus 74 from 100, you get 26. Now 26 divided by 2 is 13. This is one way to do it. Another method is bust is 100, waist is 74. So what we'll do is 100 divided by 2 will give us 50. 74 divided by 2 will give us 37. So 37 minus 50 is 13. So one way or the other, we get the 13 cm. So 13 cm is the dart suppression. So anyhow we do it, we have to divide this into 2 because this is half of the full bodies. So it's 13 cm we're using for dart suppression. Okay. So the front and back dart is 10 cm. 10 cm total. So if you do 10 cm minus 10 minus 13 will give us 3 cm. We have 3 cm left. So if you minus 10 from 13, you give us 3 cm left. So that 3 cm is for the side seam. So we're using 10 cm for the dart, that's the waist dart, and then the other 3 cm, because what we have this for that expression is 13. When we use 10 cm for the dart for front and back, the other 3 cm will be used at the side. So 1.5 on each side of 0.20. So I'll measure 1.5 here and I'll measure 1.5 here. So 1.5 on either side. Okay. Okay. So before you mark the dart, it's best to do the new waistline. For new waistline, at the center front, towards your front, for new waistline, you drop down 2 cm here. Drop down 2 cm. And then you connect it to knotting on the back line. So use 2 cm and connect it to knotting. So please use a straight ruler that can connect all the way. Use a straight ruler that would give you the measurement directly. So 2 cm out and then to knotting at the back line. I'm using red marker now too, so that you can tell the difference. So this is the new waistline. Here is 2 cm, the distance is 2 cm, and then you connect it to knotting with a straight ruler to your CB at the waist. Okay, so next I'll be bringing the 1.5. I'll be rolling my line straight down to touch the new waistline because everything will have to happen on the new waistline. So I'll just bring the 1.5 down here and then the 1.5 down here. And from the 1.5 you connect it to 19, to knotting on 19, so it has to blend in. 1.5 connected to knotting on 19 this way. So we've done the side. Next, from CB, measure 7 cm in. Now this is your center back. You measure 7 cm in along the line, new waistline. Measure 7 cm in, and then from here take out 5 cm for that suppression. Don't forget we have 5 cm at the front, 5 cm at the back. 5 cm for that suppression. Then once you mark your 5 cm, get the midpoint of the 5 cm. So 5 divided by 2, that's 2.5. Okay. Next, for CF, take in 7.5. 7.5 from CF, you mark. Now from here, measure 5 cm out. Once you get the 5 cm, get the midpoint of your 5 cm, which is 2.5. And then mark the point. So this is our dart. This is our dart for both front and back. Next, as the skyline, measure from 10 to 14 and divide by 2. So for us to get the measurement, you measure from point 10 now, get the midpoint. 10 to 14, get the midpoint. 10 to 14. So this is, I'm measuring from here to here to get the midpoint. This is where I'm stopping. So 10 to 14, get the midpoint of 10 to 14. This is 19. 19 divided by 2. 9.5. You get the midpoint. So it says get the midpoint plus 0.3 cm. So midpoint of 19 is 9.5 plus 0.3 cm. That will be 9.8. So this is 9.5. I will just extend it to 9.8. And this is it. So that means from point 10, you have to measure 9.8 in. So that's midpoint of 10 to 14, which is 9.5 plus 3 cm. That's 9.8. So connect to form the dot. That's from your 9.8. I can also label it and give it number. So this can be called 0.22 if it helps. Now next you have to connect from the 0.22 to your dart legs at the waist. So I'll connect. First connect 22 straight to the midpoint of the dart, and then from here to one dart leg, and from here to another dart leg. Now this is the dart for the back. Okay, next let's go to the front. We're done with the back. For CF, get the midpoint from 16 to 11. Get the midpoint of 16 to 11. So I'll measure what I have. 16 to 11, that's 11 to 16. This is like 20.5 divided by 2. That's 10.25. That's the midpoint of 16 to 11. Now, rule with a broken line. Now, from point 7, what you want to do is measure 26 down. Measure 26 from point 7, passing through the midpoint that you marked. So from here, from point 7, I'll measure 26 down, passing through this midpoint that I marked. So this is 26. Passing through the mid-mark point. So this is 26. Where 26 falls, and then I'll square across. So I can just measure what I have from here to here is like 2.5 and say square across. So this will be through bust line. So this is the through bust point. Through bust point. That's what it means. Don't forget this is it. Still indicated there. Now we'll be using a broken line from that point 7, that 26 that we marked. Let me use my red. So we use a broken line because this is it will serve as a guide for drawing the shoulder dart. If you measure here to here is 26. Don't worry, it's not going to be a straight line. So that's it. Next, from the through bust line, measure down 1.5 cm. From this through bust point now, this is through bust point, measure 1.5 down. Measure 1.5 down. Now this is going to be a guide to drawing the waist dart. So what I'm going to do is draw the dart, draw the dart, and draw the dart. Okay, next we'll move on to drawing the shoulder dart. Now from point 7 along the shoulder line, measure 6.5 and mark. So along the shoulder line, measure 6.5 and mark. 1.7, 6.5 and mark. So this is my 6.5. Now from the 6.5, measure 6 cm and mark. So we have 6.5 first from 7, and then from the 6.5 we measure 6 cm, which is the dart width, and mark. So connect the 6.5. So this first 6.5 is gonna serve as the dart leg, as the first dart leg. So from this is the first 6.5, and now from the 6 cm connect all to the through bust point. Okay, so this is the first dart leg, this is the second dart leg, and we're done with the front shoulder dart. Now for the back shoulder dart, along the shoulder line from point 6, measure 6.5. Measure 6.5. Now from 6.5, measure 1.5 because that's what we added for the dart. So from this is the 6.5, this is 1.5. Now the reason why we have to measure the same 6.5 is so that at the end of the day, both back and front shoulder darts will align. So remember from 7 we did 6.5. Now from 6 you measure the same 6.5 before you measure the dart width. Now our dart width is 1.5, our dart width here is 6 cm. So that's how it is. Okay. So from the 6.5, you have to roll a line to the waist dart tip. You have to roll a line from the 6.5 to the waist dart tip. This way, it serves as a guide. Now, next, you connect from 1.5, slanting it to 7. So, roll a line first to the waist dart tip. Now, your shoulder dart length is 7 cm for the back. So, you measure, place your tape from the 1.5 width to stop at 7. This is it. Stop at 7. So, this is it. And this is it for this basic body size 14. Please don't forget to label, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel as we go together. Thank you. See you in the next video.